Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the After Whistle podcast. I'm your host, Joseph Agundis.
I'm Murray Bell.
And I'm Casey Pechtel.
And how many leagues did you guys play Jamar Chase in?
Dude, zero actually.
I played against him in two, but I had him in my A league, so
So,
kind of worked. And I had him in two leagues.
So you had him in two and you played against him in two?
Yes.
Well, that cancels itself out.
so I
Yeah,
played
in
against him. Go ahead.
my main league, I had him, so I was like,
So
that's the
you
one.
came out on top.
I started 1-5, and this week was my week to get back to 500. So I'm went from 1-5 and 5-5.
Huge.
It
Some
worked
would
out.
say you're the Cincinnati Bengals.
Some would say, yeah.
Um, I played against him in three.
Did you win
Um,
any of
no.
them? No,
Uh,
I didn't think so.
so funny enough, one of the leagues I played against him was a Burrow Jamar Chase stack, which was super fun.
I mean, that had to have been close to 100 points.
No, it was half PPR. I
Oh, okay.
almost won. If Jalen Waddle kept what he was doing for the first half of the first quarter, I would have won. But he didn't. He stopped scoring. But um the two leagues in on Sleeper, you know how Sleeper gives you the breakdown, the review or whatever,
Weekly review.
the weekly report. The two leagues that I played against Jamar Chase in, I was the highest points and loss category on both of them. And
Damn.
I came in fourth points scored that in both of them, which is wild. It's like,
Yeah,
dude,
that's brutal.
like I would
He,
have been,
he's third now for Offensive Player of the Year.
wow.
Yeah, he jumped JJ. It's Henry's still minus 140. Saquon moved up a little bit to plus 225. And then Jamar at plus
He's getting touchdowns vultured from him.
Yeah, thank God.
Oh. All right. Um, yeah, how about, dude? I know it's happened to me. It's happened to me in the Buddies League to where I'm the second highest or second lowest point scorer of the week and I get the win. I can't stand it when there a guy scores 80 points and gets a win, and then I'm
Bro,
scoring
especially,
130 and get
bro,
smoked.
we were looking at it. It's so funny. And we just have somebody in one of our leagues is like in ninth place overall, but is the first point scorer or something like that.
Oh no, he's in 10th because I'm
Yeah.
in ninth.
Yeah.
That's
He's
crazy.
he's in 10th and he's like a top 3 point scorer.
Yeah. Well, and then Vic is the first, and he's
Yeah,
in
and he's fifth.
fifth. Like
But
it's
yeah,
wild.
it just goes to
It's
show that
weird.
you can't always it's tricky out there.
Yeah, I feel like towards the end of the season, it starts to shape up a little bit better because it's just I feel like the more games you
Right, the more
play.
games the medians come together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Everything comes to average, much like our game picks this season.
yeah. That average has been steadily rising for Juice Bucks.
It has, it
That
has. I'll give the people an update real quick because we haven't
oh, I
had
was
it.
gonna wait. Okay. I was gonna wait till game.
We won't do the picks. I'm just gonna let the
Yeah, I
people
know.
know. I feel bad. I've been slacking on this and I haven't had our standings.
Okay.
I am 39, 32, and 1, picking at 54%. Casey is 38, 33, and 1, picking at almost 53%, 52.7. And Jose on the comeback trail. I mean, this is we're all essentially in it right now.
Yeah.
Jose is 32, 39, and 1 at 44%. I texted you guys it the other day, right? I like kind of figured out how many games roughly there's going to be left.
Yep.
Yeah. So I want to say, yeah. So there's right around 65 games left for us to pick if I had done my math right. So that'll be interesting to see. The number is you got to finish with around 75 wins to be at 53%. So we'll see.
Okay.
Um, all right. Well, yeah, and we got, I mean, college football playoffs coming up.
Another crazy week in
Oh,
college football.
oh, college football, dude. Let's get to into that right now. Let's get in. I mean,
I mean, it's
Georgia
crazy.
loses.
It's so funny that this year is the first year, and it almost makes you like it plays into like the whole like, is it rigged thing?
Yeah.
first year really where you look at it, thank God we have this 12-team playoff. The
Oh
14
yeah.
playoff could in theory be Indiana, Ohio State, Texas, and Tennessee. I would hate that 14 playoff.
Yeah.
No,
BYU,
no Oregon.
I'm just saying the Oregon's good. It could be that is what I'm
It's
saying.
really,
If
yeah,
the
there's
Oregon
a
Yeah.
chance.
it's kind of a disaster scenario. Of course, that's not.
Yeah.
Oregon should be in it. You just have too many teams that are still sitting at those two losses and can get in.
Yeah.
Like it's so open right now. Alabama with that huge win this week. It's just there's so much inconsistency, and the one consistency has been Oregon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I feel like everyone they're not even the favorite to win the whole thing right now.
Yeah. I think it's in the past couple of years, it's been like Georgia or Michigan last year has been the powerhouse team that everybody knew and expected to win it all. And this year is like it feels like the first year in like 4 years that hasn't happened, or like it
I mean,
was
yeah, that's what
Bama
I was
before
thinking the same.
Georgia.
If you took last year's Michigan team and put them against any team this season, Michigan kills them.
Yeah.
Kills them. The Georgia Stenson Bennett teams just a few
Mhm.
years ago would destroy any of these teams this year.
Yeah.
That's like it's kind of like we're in that year, like we've been saying. I don't know if anyone is like good. Everyone's just kind of mid.
It's fun now.
It is. It makes it so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like how would that shake out? How would the SEC shake out? Like SEC season ended today. Who's playing in the SEC championship right now?
I want to say I'll pull it up right now and I'll get the correct answer. I'm
Is
pretty
it
sure it's
Texas, right?
Tennessee. It's Tennessee and Texas, I believe.
Yeah, because they're
No,
both.
it's Tennessee and A&M because A&M is 5-1. Texas is only 4-1 in conference play.
Oh,
But they play each other
wow.
the last game of the season, Texas and
Right.
Texas A&M. And then this week, Tennessee plays Georgia.
Wow.
This is
Like
crazy.
that's what I mean. It all still has to work itself out to where, like, if Georgia loses to Tennessee this week, Georgia's out.
Yeah.
Season's
Yeah.
over, which is crazy to think about.
Hmm.
So we
That
could be
is
saying that about Georgia with 3 weeks and the SEC title game still to play. That if Georgia loses this week, they're out. And that applies to so many teams. Alabama loses this week, they're
So
out.
I was thinking, I was looking at it
Mhm.
because I was playing on my Road to Glory character and I was at Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
We lost 4 games, but somehow made it into the Big 12 championship and won.
So then you're in.
You're in. That's what, like
Yeah,
realistically you can.
correct. The thing that a lot of it will be hard to make it to your conference title game with 4 losses, especially if they're in conference losses.
So
If you
that was the thing.
Yeah,
It was one in conference loss because I played this schedule was stupid.
3 good out of conference games.
Oregon off
Mhm.
rip, Oklahoma the next week.
It's SEC now, it's out of conference.
Yeah, and then I can't remember. It was another like crazy like good
It's just
school.
it's hard to even talk about it too much because there's too many possibilities. So the
Yeah,
one question I do want to ask is just who do you guys think are not where they will be ranked or where they will finish? Who do you think are the 4 best teams?
Oregon.
Mhm.
Um,
I think all the top three right now. I think Oregon, Ohio State, and Texas are the top three.
yeah, Oregon, Ohio State, Texas.
And then who's 4? In that order, you would have it Oregon, Ohio State, Texas.
Not exactly in
I
that
would
order.
probably flip Texas and Ohio State because I think Texas is better than Ohio. I don't like the quarterback play.
Bill Howard's
Ohio
terrible.
State. Yeah.
So you would have the order Oregon, Texas, Ohio State, and then who do you have at the 4? Again, these are just your 4 best teams, not like how you would
Yeah.
see.
Like I want to say Indiana, but who's Indiana played?
It's not
Yeah,
in.
Yeah, I know it's but they're undefeated, so I'm just saying.
We will
that's
see Indiana. They play Ohio State, not this upcoming week, the week after.
Are they in the same?
So that's why a lot of conferences did this. Everyone got rid of the divisions. It's one.
Okay.
So that's why it's hard. Before, you could have won your conference with 4 losses because take like the Big Ten, you
Yeah.
had that one half with like Ohio State and Michigan, but then you had that other half with like Wisconsin, Nebraska, and Iowa. So you could have had, but we could, well, that won't happen anymore because they got rid of the divisions.
Okay, they
That's
got rid of the division. So it's just whoever has the two best records in the
Two
conference.
best in conference records, yes.
Okay, so we could see Oregon and Ohio State play each other again.
That's what I said that preseason. I said
Yeah.
the winner of the regular season game will lose the title game.
Okay.
I think that the 4 best teams are Oregon. You have to put them in there. They haven't lost yet. Um, I don't have Texas in there because Texas has really only played like one game and they lost to Georgia.
yeah, Penn State,
No, I do not have Penn State.
Bama,
I have Georgia.
Georgia.
I
Okay.
still think Georgia, look, I don't they're still good. I hate Carson Beck and I don't
Yeah.
think he's good, but it's kind of like the Ohio State with Will Howard thing. There's too much other talent there for them to not continue.
Did you see his goals for this year?
Yeah, like win the Heisman and all that stuff. Dude's a clown.
He's gonna go 0 for 3.
And then at the 3, I have Ohio State. And then at the 4, Notre Dame. Dude, I know this is crazy. Take out the NIU game. It was a bad game.
Yeah.
You lost to Northern Illinois at home. It's horrible. If you take out that game, Notre Dame has been insane this season. Insane. In that game, look, you had a transfer quarterback, Riley Leonard, coming into a new system, coming off an ankle injury, missed the essentially the whole season at Duke last year. So maybe it just took him a second to get in there. These last 5 games that they've played, and they've played nobodies, but you still got to beat nobodies.
Yeah.
They've been beating the shit out of these nobodies. 53-2 against Florida State this week.
hmm
That's the old Notre Dame wins that game 28-17. Closer, but they still win it. So I it's obviously biased, but I think that I'm back in.
Okay.
All right. Moving
Case,
on.
wait, who'd you have? Who was your 4 case? You said the top 3 and who?
I was gonna say Bama.
Bama.
Yeah. Like I don't know, kind of like what you said, that Vandy game,
Mhm.
and then the Tennessee game. Like I just feel like those were bad games. I think Bama's is really good.
I'm not out on them either. And even the
Yeah.
Tennessee loss, it's not even a bad loss. You lost at Tennessee.
Yeah.
The Vandy loss is bad, but again, kind of like the Notre Dame thing, like
Like
just
that stuff kind of just
throw it
happens.
away. Forget about it. And that team's very.
Coach.
I hear you.
I was a toss up between Bama and Georgia in that 4 spot.
Both of those teams are very good. But
So
that's what I mean. Like those teams will end up not probably one of those teams will be a top 4 team.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so if for
yeah.
the 12 team playoff, we might not get to see this.
Yeah. All right, moving on to pro ball. I don't know. This last week we had it was a weird week, wasn't it? I feel like it was a weird week.
Mm-hmm.
Stars didn't really do a lot, and then close games like
Kansas,
Kansas City. Can we talk like?
they just got
Do you
that.
think do you think it's actually rigged, or do you think just people are blowing it out of proportion? I think they're kind of blowing it out of proportion.
It's
I think
not rigged.
just yeah, it's not rigged. Like,
There's way too much money involved for it to be rigged. There's way too much money and way too many people.
yeah, like I don't know. Are
The
they?
kid, that shit happens.
Yeah, like that's you can't. I feel like kicking a blocked kick is something you can't really like. Okay, you're gonna get the kick blocked. Like you can't tell somebody that like rig it.
Right. I
Like
don't
you
know.
can rig it. I think you can rig it to miss it.
Mhm.
Like if he would have missed it, I would have been like, all right, let's think about this.
No, I don't know. I don't think the NFL is the whole rigging thing, I don't even like giving it the time. The NFL is way too much to lose by rigging sports. If it ever came out that like the NFL games were fixed, people would like just stop watching.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
becomes the WWE at that point in time.
yeah.
No, yeah, I agree with that.
But I don't think it's rigged. I think that uh the sports books have a hand in what kind of happens.
I can tell you we
Like
don't.
with the
Well,
refs.
You wouldn't say that.
I can promise you, like, if the sports
Or
books hadn't handed it, they'd win. We don't always win.
yeah, no, you keep the
We've
illusion.
been getting killed this season, actually. I mean, not every week, but because these big favorites have been winning so much, and what does the public love to do? Bet big favorites.
I always thought the public likes to bet the underdog.
No, the public likes to root for the underdog. They like to bet on the favorite.
Well, that's just dumb.
It is Tom.
That's just dumb.
That's the issue.
All right. Well, I mean, Chiefs are 9. They're still a good football team.
Do
Uh,
you people though? I think the Chiefs are getting a lot of shit right now that I think is undeserved.
I think
Yeah, I just
motivating
think
them.
they do not look. If you have watched, I mean, pretty much any of their games, they don't look like an undefeated team.
No.
They always find a way.
But that's what matters most.
Yeah, I mean it does. I wouldn't be surprised if they get beat up in the playoffs. I know
See,
that's a crazy thing to say, but dude,
They're getting
they should,
Pacheco back.
they should have like 3 or 4 losses right now, and they have zero.
you think that come the postseason, you really think someone can go in there and win?
I think the Ravens and the Bills would have a chance. And if the Bengals were to make the playoffs, I think they would too.
Hang on.
But yeah, their Bengals are toast.
What is that face over there?
I was just thinking, are the Bills favored in Arrowhead this week? Or am
It's
I?
not an Arrowhead.
Oh, it's not in Arrowhead. Okay.
It's in Buffalo.
It's in Buffalo. Okay. I read that wrong then. I saw so I was it's still early.
It's in Buffalo. And here's the thing is like we've seen the Bills will probably win this game or something like that. And
Yeah.
then Bills fans will think like, "Oh, we have a chance." And then the Chiefs will kill them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. I don't know.
Maybe that's just what I want to happen. And I
No,
don't know if I believe that, but that's certainly what I want.
until it happens, I'm just going to pick them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what did you guys make of the Texans game?
Um,
It was,
I think
I
that
shoot Casey that parlay. That was tough. I'm sorry.
yeah, it's all right.
I
I
totally
think
forgot.
I
But
think
that aside, the game.
first half the Lions underestimated the Texans, I think. Just a little bit, just enough to where they were like, okay, like we got to kind of figure this out. Like in the second half. You know, Goff throwing what do you have, 5 picks?
5 picks. It was crazy.
Goff throwing 5 picks is
Hail
always
Mary,
tough.
it makes it too much better, but
Yeah. I mean, even Stroud didn't look very good.
mm-mm. It was
No.
a weird game.
But Mixon did run the ball good. He's rejuvenated his career
Yeah.
in Houston.
It's funny. Everyone thought that team was going to be led by Stroud and those big gun receivers, and it's all mixing.
Hmm.
It's funny to see these two running backs because Henry, it's kind of happening the same thing where, you know, tough couple of last seasons, change of scenery, total resurgence.
Yeah.
I think for some guys, that's really all it takes.
Yeah, he's just different. He's not like the rest of those running backs where he's done when he's like, 28, 29. He's built different.
It's a freak.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I still think that it kind of shows the Texans are still a good football team, but
Mhm.
they've had a tough couple of weeks, and the Lions, I think, were just coached a little bit better, and that's why they prevailed in the end.
Do you still think, both of you, that the Lions, because I know you both thought this coming into this game, do you still like believe the Lions are far and away the best NFC team?
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was just a rough game, you know.
And then would you say the Texans are the fourth best AFC team or fifth?
Um,
Would you have the Bengals ahead of them or not?
I think that's
I think the Bengals, I think they would beat the Texans.
I do too.
yeah, I think so too.
But I don't think that the Bengals will finish in the standings higher than the Texans.
Yeah, because
They
the Texans
won't.
in that division.
They'll win the division.
We just took this last
But
week.
even record wise, I don't know. Like,
I don't think so either. We called three divisions this week. We took them off the board. The Bills have the East wrapped up, the Chiefs have the West wrapped up, and the Texans have the South wrapped up.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the South is just bad.
Oh, it's so bad. It's a terrible
Bad.
division.
What about in the NFC? Did you call any in the NFC? No,
No,
I mean not really. Yeah,
no, everything's still on the board in the NFC. Uh,
because
the
you know
Falcons are getting real close. They're like almost minus 2,000 to win that division now.
they're probably the closest because the Eagles play the Commanders this week on Thursday.
Yeah, yeah.
The Packers,
That division's still very close. Other
yeah,
than the Lions, kind of, but the rest
You
of
got
it
the
is.
Bears.
Oh. Do we want to talk about? Can we talk about the
dude.
Bears real quick? I know Casey would love to talk about the Bears
Our
real
plan.
quick.
Our plan is that Eberflus gets fired. They're like, all right, Bears guy, GM Ryan Poles is he's looking at on Spotify. He's just like, who are these guys?
Listen to some music. It comes across the pod.
He's like, man, these guys are good. They know. So we're gonna hire them. We're gonna coach the Bears at the next season.
God, I can't. We're gonna trade Caleb away so fast.
I know who to get to. I know who to trade for.
Whoa,
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
But really, I mean, the Bears, I was seeing this, and obviously, like, I think it was a little dramatic and things like that, but it was Big Cat talking, and everybody talks about how they should have drafted Mahomes, right? He said if Mahomes got drafted by the Bears, he would be out of the league by now.
You think so?
He thinks that the Bears are so incompetent that they could ruin Patrick Mahomes. And I'll tell you what, I don't even think that's a
There's a
crazy.
little bit of truth to that, I
I
think.
don't think that's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's not that crazy. I mean, I don't know out of the
Out of the
league,
league
but
could be
not as good, 100%. Because you don't have all those years where you have Kelsey and Tyreek.
well, and he's not sitting behind Alex Smith for a couple of years.
Yeah,
1 year.
it was just
Oh,
one,
it was
right?
only one.
Yeah, it was one.
Still,
Yeah.
though, I don't even know who when the Bears drafted Mitch, like who was the quarterback? This was that Fields was after Mitch. It went Mitch Field. Yeah. Like I don't even know.
It was like Foles or somebody.
Oh, I think it
Foles-
might have been Foles.
It was
That
like
one-
Foles or
someone else.
They benched Foles that season, and there
I'll
was
look
another
at it.
dude.
But anyways, the
Glenn
Bears.
on.
What do you even do from here? Like, where do you got to fire Eberflus?
You
I mean,
fire
yeah, and then-
you clean house.
Fire Eberflus and hire us?
Hang on.
You know, well, Jose looks for that. The other side of
Looking
that,
at
Drake May.
man. Drake May.
Drake May is. I like Drake May. He's pretty solid.
I like Drake May, but let's hear it. Who was it?
Oh. So it says Cutler's second, but I think Cutler got hurt.
Uh-huh.
Something happened because he only played 5 games. Brian Hoyer also played 5 games for him.
Wow.
Do you know who played the most games for him in 2016?
It wasn't Nick Foles.
USC legend Matt Barkley.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's what I mean.
And then Foles was my fault. Foles was in 2020 and he sat behind Trubisky and then
Yeah,
they
he
benched
was
Trubisky for Foles.
I got you.
Uh,
That's
Drake
crazy.
May.
Matt Barkley, what a name.
Matt Barkley.
He played into my original Sam Darnold hate years ago. Because everyone thought Matt Barkley was going to be good and he sucked. And I thought Sam Darnold was the same way. But Drake May, the reason why I'm not getting too excited about Drake May yet is because I thought Mac Jones was really good after his first year too. And a lot of people did. That wasn't a bad take.
That wasn't a bad take. It's just funny to see now.
No, it is. After Mac Jones's rookie year, a lot of people thought he was going to be very good. And that didn't happen. So with Drake May, I'm happy with what I've seen so far, but I'm a little nervous still. I want to see next season. This season's been good. Show me next year.
Yeah.
I just remember I walked in the K house wearing my Josh Allen jersey, clapping, and you looked like you wanted to throw
Dude, because that was
water
we got
bottle at
killed
me.
in the playoff game. That was so bad.
You wanted to, you were like, you looked at me and you went, "That's not even your team." And I was like, I don't,
It's not. Your team sucks.
I know. Let me.
Now before we're just kind of rambling here, but I'm
Yeah.
enjoying. What do you think? What do you do if you're Dallas this offseason?
You
Because
hire somebody to kill Jerry Jones and well, okay. No, this offseason you trade up and draft. You get Dak's no trade clause out of there. Say trade. Watch this. Watch this. Trade Dakota Prescott. Trade up. Shadur Dion's head coach.
dude, that let me tell you, that would be worse than what's happening right now.
I think it not so much Dion, but I think Marcus Spears said it last night on Monday Night Countdown. They need a player like they need a former player coach who's played for the organization.
Sure, I like.
Um, so like just somebody who can kind of rally the locker room and stuff. You've seen it with he brought up D'Amico Ryans. He was a former Texan. Now he's a
Maybe
coach of Texans.
somebody who knows ball very well.
Yeah, not Mike McCarthy.
No, no, somebody who can analyze the defense and really pick them apart. Maybe.
Uh, Tony. No, Tony's way too
Doing
comfortable
way
in
too
that.
good at this.
He's Tony's way too comfortable in that booth. I thought about it. I was like, when I was real young, I was like, man, Tony, he could be a coach when he's done with the Cowboys.
I think he could be. He just won't
He
be.
could be.
He will. I think he likes that booth job way too much.
I think so.
That'd be awesome if Tony coached the Cowboys.
He's so cool. I'd be so in on the Cowboys.
Or a guy like Kellen Moore. No, I'm kidding.
Because I think he's going to the Bears. Yeah, that's who I think is going to be the next. If it's not us, next
Kellen
season,
Moore.
Bill Belichick. I think is going to be the Bears head coach. If it's not the three of us.
Okay. I keep Ty Cotton keeps saying that Bill's going to the Cowboys, and I'm like, he's not, dude.
Bill only goes to the Cowboys if Jerry leaves.
Yeah.
If Jerry screws off, I think Bill could go there.
Bill's got cojones.
Yeah,
And no
Jerry wants to clip you.
No Cowboys coach has cojones. Look at the last few. Wade Phillips sucked. Jason Garrett sucked. Who was before McCarthy?
Was it not Jason Garrett before
Not
McCarthy?
Jason Garrett.
Was it not? Was it?
I think it was.
I definitely thought it was.
Okay, never mind. Yeah. All right.
Dude,
So let's get into stardom situms.
this is such a bad week for Stardom City.
This is terrible.
I just feel like it's either you're.
At this point in the season, it's hard.
That's what I mean. You know who you're starting. Like
Yeah.
you're starting your guys. I
And
only
I
know
mean, my whole team's on bye.
your whole team is on bye. Who do I start? Well, Case, I got one for you. If he's on your bench this week, I like Jawan Jennings.
I also like
Okay.
Jawan Jennings.
He had a good week last week. That offense looked good with McCaffrey back in there. I think they're going to start clicking a little more. I think he might be wide receiver too there with now that Ayuk is out. Like Debo won him too. So I don't know. I like that offense, and Jawan is definitely seems comfortable in there. It's like I said, it's a hard week for stardoms. I feel like that's my one though.
All right. Yeah, I got another kind of tough one. He's been a big touchdown guy over in Los Angeles. I like Quentin Johnson. They got the Bengals this week. Obviously, their defense is not the greatest in the world, and I like him. I started him last week, 2 for 24 with a score though. Like that's all I needed from you. Just do the same thing.
The touchdowns, everything.
Yep.
Yeah, mine is another 49er who's kind of shown that he can come back from getting shot. Ricky Pearsall. I mean, other than the bomb that he caught last week, I don't think he did much. No, he had 4 catches, 73 yards, and a touchdown, but that was a 40-yard touchdown that he caught. Still, that's just as good as going 7 for 70 or
Abs-
whatever. So, or whatever. Points aside, but I think he could catch another one against a not so good Seattle defense.
Absolutely.
Do you guys have any others? Because I have one, but it's
I'll just real quick. I know I had him last week, and he played well last week. You got to keep rolling out Austin Eckler. He's been playing some good ball lately.
Oh
He had
yeah.
another good week last week. I'm big on Eckler
You
right now.
start him even if they get Brian Robinson back?
I'd give him one more week, yeah, just to see how things go. Short week, Robinson. Who knows if he's 100%?
Yeah.
It could just be split 60-40 in Eckler's favor for one more week. I like
Yeah.
it.
I got a pick that's probably more of a streamer than a start. But man, Russell Wilson is slinging the ball.
Dude, absolutely.
And they got Ravens this week. That's a huge game because, right now they're in the lead of the division.
Hmm.
If they want to hold on to it, they got to beat the Ravens.
I,
Or no.
I like
Yeah.
that for us because they're going to get down. Well, not down, but the Ravens have an ability to score points.
Yeah,
So
they're gonna keep scoring. So
yeah,
I like Russ.
I like him as well. It's a good one.
I have one, and it's contingent on if another guy is still out, which I think he might be. If DK Metcalf is still out, you have to have JSN in your lineup. I know it's not a crazy take, but like I just kind of want to put that out there. Um,
Similar idea too. The Niners are going to score some points. Seattle's going to be throwing the ball.
yeah, and JSN is, I mean, all the Ohio State guys talked about JSN being the best
I
at
think
all.
even if DK plays, I might start him
Okay.
depending on options.
And then if you're in a situation like Casey and you got to play like a guy like say Josh Downs, I don't mind that either. He had 10 targets last week.
Well, I don't have Josh Downs.
Well, I'm
No,
saying if you're in that situation,
Oh yeah.
I don't
Oh
mean
yeah.
that attitude, Casey.
not you specifically, but a
Not
situation
you.
similar to yours.
Okay.
Yes. Or if he's on the waiver wire, somehow he might be. Who knows? All right, moving on to sits. I don't really know.
I got nothing. I'll be
I
honest.
have nothing on sit. Like you're sitting guys who suck.
That's why, right? Like
I
who you're sitting at this week. I guess like
Like
I got
honestly,
one. I got Javante Williams. That Audric Estime guy had 14 carries last week, which leads into my stream because that's who I'm starting as my RB2 in the league with I have four running backs on bye. So we're 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 starting that guy and we're sitting Javante.
okay.
hey,
Um,
what do you know about Audric Estime?
What do I know about him?
You just look because I'm a big Audric Estime guy.
I mean, 14 carries.
You know where he went to school?
Where did he go to school?
Dom.
Notre Dame, baby.
Really?
That dude, just when you're done with this, it's not going to be any Tavon Austin-esque things. Just look up his college highlights. The dude ran through
Oh
people.
wow, yeah. He's only 21.
Yeah,
I
rookie year,
like that.
rookie year, very Leonard Fournette-esque is a game I would compare him to.
Okay.
Dude's a dog. I love Estime.
I
Oh,
so he could be a he could punch one in. And
Watch
it's
two.
not the Chiefs this week. It's the like he wasn't that efficient versus the Chiefs, but they're a tough defense. He's got Atlanta this week.
He'll run all over.
Yeah.
I have a kind of a spicy sit. Crap, never mind. Never mind. I saw he was playing. I was gonna say sit Devontae Adams because the Jets are
I know
bad.
Titans, right?
Colts.
Colts. That's who it was. A
I was
Southeast.
checking to see who he was playing, and still though Arizona doesn't really have that good of a pass defense, and they held him to 6 points. So
I'm just not ready to sit him yet.
yeah, if
Sid
I would sit Devontae for a guy like I don't know,
Vlad McConkey or
Juan.
Devon.
I think that's matchup based.
yeah.
That's
Also, I'll sit anyone on the Bears this week. It's Caleb
The
Williams.
entire organization.
Caleb Williams is going to get shown who owns him.
Did I see that they only have one offensive lineman like on the bench right now?
What?
I believe I saw that the Bears are one lineman away from like having to put tight ends on the line. I don't know if that's true.
Crazy.
I'm sure that now this week they can pick people up, but I believe like towards the end of their game that was happening.
I just
Wow.
I just put in just because I'm gonna take Casey's advice here. I just put in Demario Douglas for Rome Odunze.
Yeah,
Gross.
I would do
The
the same.
Buddies League. Dude, my team in the Buddies League is so bad, dude. It's so bad. But I have two really good running backs and the best quarterback in the league. How does that happen?
Do we want to get into game picks now? Was that Stardom Situms?
I wanted to say
Yeah.
Stream
stream,
City. Not Stream City.
stream city this week.
Estimate, baby. Estimate. Russell Wilson.
Bo
Your guys.
Bo Nix.
He's been good too.
You can find him.
You can find him.
If he's not rostered.
He's not rostered. I gotta pick him up. Bo Nix has been playing pretty well.
Streams Detroit defense against Jacksonville, love it. Vikings defense against Tennessee, love it. Green Bay defense against Chicago, love it.
Texans defense against the Cowboys.
Love it.
I love anybody. If Dak has season-ending injury or
Surgery.
I'm having a tough time here. Uh, you got to play whatever defense plays the Cowboys because they are like I'm scared. CeeDee Lamb might be on these sits here coming up soon. That's crazy.
He shouldn't play.
No,
He should shut it down for the year.
no, they're done.
Why bother? Why could you imagine if CD gets hurt this season now?
Trey
That'd
Lance,
be crazy.
Cooper Rush.
No. I would shut it down.
Tank for that. Shadur.
I don't think Shadur is going to be good.
The Raiders fans are all over Shadur.
I know it's so bad.
They love Shadur. Shadur wants to go to Vegas. That's what he wants to do. Let's go
Yeah,
party.
of course.
Also, anybody, disclaimer, this is not any starts and sits or anything. If you are a part of the Raiders organization, you should not be allowed to drive. Jack Del Rio,
Yeah.
former head coach.
Yeah.
Now, Wisconsin's whatever analyst, coaching analyst or whatever, got arrested for a DUI. I think it's going to start bleeding into. I think it already has started bleeding into the fans because Raiders fans are wild. But
Well, the players, nothing bad has ever happened with a Raiders player in a car, has there?
it's a telling pause. All right, let's get into game picks before we get canceled.
As we talked about, yeah, we are very close in the standings now. I feel bad. I'll go first. You guys already saw who I'm picking in all of these when I sent the picture. I like to think that there's honesty amongst us as friends and nobody's gonna alter their picks based off of who I took. But you never know. We'll start with college. Georgia -10 home against Tennessee.
That's what threw me off.
Huh?
That's what threw me off. You didn't put the home team on the right.
I put the favorite on the left and I put verse or at.
Okay, yeah. See, I've always had
That's
home
fine,
team
man.
is on the right. That's what
You normally send the
Yeah.
screenshot, but I was bored at work. Georgia -10 against Tennessee. I got Georgia. I just at home. They need a big win. They need a get right game. I know, and we said it wasn't this one a few weeks ago. Georgia is going to get right this game. I think they're going to beat Tennessee pretty easy.
I'm taking Tennessee. I think 10 points is a lot between two of the big dogs in the SEC. And I don't know. Yeah, Georgia just hasn't looked all that good. I think it'll be closer than you think.
I think Kirby Smart is a good coach, and he's going to whip these boys into shape. I think they win by 2 touchdowns.
That's what I was thinking as well, Juicer. Casey, the lone Tennessee. I got to type these in so I don't. forget him again.
All right.
Next game, BYU, led by the BYU, still undefeated after what was an insane game last night. I'll tell you what, you can kill the Pac-12, but you will never kill the idea that is Pac-12 after dark. Because that BYU Utah game, incredible. BYU -3 home against Kansas. Kansas, big win last week against Iowa State, kind of knocking them out of playoff contention. But I got BYU here. I think the undefeated show rolls on at home. I think they get this done.
Yeah, BYU all the way.
I think Kansas is not a good football team. I don't care. BYU taking them.
And lastly, Clemson -10 at Pitt. I think this is too many points at home. I'm going to take Pitt
Took Pitt last time.
against SMU. I know.
They got smoked. I'm gonna take Clemson here.
Um, I don't know. I had a lady that was in the golf shop this last Saturday, and she was bad mouthing Clemson because she was a Clemson fan, and she was like, "We've been so bad," and it was right after the block kick from Virginia
She's
Tech.
right. I've been so bad.
They went on to win that game like a lot to a little. So I think they hurt her, and they're gonna play better for her. I'm gonna take Clemson.
For her.
She bought it. She bought a hat too. We have like these old like retro TPC hats.
Yeah.
They kind of got those like the diamond. You kind of know what I mean? The diamonds on
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
and it was orange and purple. And she's like, "Do you know why I'm buying that hat?" I'm like, "Because it's Clemson colors." And she was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
cool."
Moving on to the pros now. We have a great Thursday night game. Thank God. I feel like too often we get some stinkers on Thursday night. But this is a good one.
Last week was great.
Last week was good too. Eagles home against the Commanders. The Eagles are -3. I am going to take the Birds here at home. We were talking about it last week. I love the Eagles, man. Sirianni's getting a lot of slander. I think this team is damn good though.
Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles here as well. Jane Daniels and the Commanders, they're good, but they're not as complete as the Eagles are.
They're not ready yet.
Yeah.
I want to take the Commanders. I really do. I want them, but I got to get my wins back up here. If this was 3 weeks ago and I was picking it like 33% or whatever I would have taken the Commanders just as a crazy shot. But I got to get my wins up. I'm taking the Eagles. They're just a better football team, and I like the home team on Thursday night.
Next fun divisional game. Ravens -3.5 at the Steelers. Look, I know that the Steelers have looked good this year and they've impressed a lot of people. They're not going to beat this Ravens team, though. 3.5, maybe I get screwed by the field goal here, but I'm going to take the Ravens. I'm not all the way in on this Steelers team yet.
That's why I am taking the Steelers, is because I think the Ravens could only win by a field goal or less than a field goal. At home, I like the Steelers defense. Just, I think Mike Tomlin's been playing the Ravens for forever. These two of the longest tenured head coaches, with their respective teams. So I think this is going to be a good battle, and it's going to be closer than people think.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly agree with you there, Jess. I think the Steelers are everyone's waiting for them to kind of fall off, and they haven't because I think they're actually good. They got a great defense. I think they're going to be in this game the whole time. Yeah, and I think they could lose just by that one field goal or win the game even.
All right. And lastly, should be the Sunday night game, isn't the Sunday night game. Bills -2.5 home against the Kansas City Chiefs. I am switching what I had underlined, and I'm going to take Buffalo this week. I just think, this Chiefs team is very good. This Chiefs team is going to win the Super Bowl, but this Chiefs team is not going to go undefeated to win the Super Bowl. And if they don't lose this game,
What game are they going to lose?
that's what I mean. I don't know where they lose. So I think they got to lose a game, and I think it's got to be this one.
Because who else do they play rest of the season? They got
It's nothing.
Raiders one more time, the
Yeah,
Broncos
They've
one more
got
time,
Carolina left on there.
your hope is the
Chargers
last
one more
Denver
time.
game. The Denver game is in Denver. Maybe they can get them there.
I think the only realistic team, I mean, maybe Denver and like maybe the Chargers. Like maybe it's a strong maybe, but it would be in Arrowhead, so that's why
Who
it's
who do they play? Do you think there's any chance if they're undefeated but have the one seed locked up? You think they rest guys that last week?
no, I think they go for it. I think they could try to go for the undefeated season.
I think they would
I
too.
don't think they pull a Jim Caldwell on the Colts sitting Peyton Manning for the last two games and going
Just
for
imagine
it.
though, Mahomes gets like clocked.
I know. Could you imagine he like breaks his knee or something in a meaningless
You
game?
have Super Bowl champion Carson Wentz coming in, you're fine.
I will say, looking at it now, it's not. They still got to play Houston. They still got to go to Pittsburgh,
Okay.
and then they got to go to Denver. Those are three straight games. Home against
Yeah, those
the
are the playoff schedule, the fantasy playoff schedule.
Yeah, home against the Texans,
Well,
at
actually,
Pittsburgh, at Denver. They
Cleveland.
can win one of those. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'll take Buffalo this week. I think that they got to win this game.
I'm also
I
taking
agree
Buffalo.
there. I gotta take Buffalo as well.
That's crazy. We just swept on that. That's nuts.
That's crazy.
I mean, the fact that all three of us picked against the Chiefs as underdogs.
They have to lose a game, and I think Buffalo's been beat up by them so many times.
It
There's a
seems
little, there's a little
Buffalo
spike,
regular season and then they lose in the playoffs.
but still, I think they take one game at a time, and I mean, after last year's playoff loss, everybody was thinking like, oh, Buffalo could win this game. Buffalo's probably going to win this game.
Buffalo should have won that game.
Yeah, and it just came.
That
What happened? Didn't like there was like
was
three penalties, and they were like third and 30. Third and goal from the 30 or something like that.
It's just Mahomes, man. It's just what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was game picks. So we'll see if where everyone's at after this week. We got some diversity this week though. Only three sweeps. Only half of them are sweeps. Eagles, Bills, BYU.
Okay.
You guys actually agreed on every pick this week.
Casey and I?
Yeah, every pick. No. You had Georgia. He had Tennessee. That was the one difference.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That was the one.
Just look at that. All right. I don't really have a hot take this week.
I was close with Mac Jones last week.
You were so close, except the you got to throw the ball to Brian Thomas, man.
Got to throw the ball.
I mean,
How about a Amari Cooper 2 touchdowns on the Bills?
if he plays,
I need him. I need him to play, and I need him to score 2 touchdowns. Okay.
I need him to play. This is what I need. This is not a hot take.
This is not a hot take. I need this to happen.
Needed.
About four E's.
One for each touchdown.
Yeah.
If he doesn't play, I mean, my whole team is on bye. I'm gonna have to go pick up.
Hang on. I have a hot take. Actually. I have a hot take.
Huh.
The Watch Cat goes defeated in fantasy football. Dude.
I mean, all jokes aside, I think if you don't win a game, there should be a punishment. Even if you're
Yes.
not
Oh,
punishment
yeah.
league,
You guys, I mean,
punishment league.
you guys are gonna have to punish. I hope he's watching. Because Watch Cat, what's going on, man? Do you need to talk to somebody about it? Like, your team is dog ass, dude.
I'm looking at it. He's 0-10. Yeah.
0-10 is insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, this team is so bad. Holy shit.
I mean, he doesn't even have a bright spot on the team.
His
Like,
running backs are Najee and Travis Etienne.
he's got Eckler.
Yeah.
Oh, and Josh Jacobs. Okay.
Well, we traded. I traded him ETN for Waddle.
Oh God, you took advantage of a kitty?
He did take it. It's trade line deadline this week. Maybe I'll send him a trade. I don't know who to trade him for.
Yeah, I don't want anyone on his team.
Mahomes hasn't even been good this year. All right, that's all I got.
That's all I got as well.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all next week. Probably. Deuces. Love you. Bye.